I know that if I were to put the 16-year-old me next to the person in his late 40s me, I think those two guys wouldn't get along very well. I think my 16-year-old me would think I was a sellout or a buster or some old gramps. And the me that's me today would be like, listen, man, you have a lot to learn. The world is complex. And I think that when we start focusing on bettering ourselves as a people, or as a person, then, once we clean up our backyard, then we can start cleaning up other yards. But you can't start with somebody else's yard and be like, listen, I just cleaned your yard and your kitchen. What do you know about that if you can't take care of your own? And I think I would tell myself that. Slow down a little bit, focus on you, stop worrying about everybody else, stop being so hard. My name is Fel3000ft. I've been painting street art and graffiti art and urban art since I was 11 years old. Started in 1982. There was me and another guy who were the first two guys ever to do it documented in the city. Now, does that mean somebody else did it before us? Maybe, but we're the only ones documented. So Shades was the first back in 82, and then 6 months later I followed. How I got started in doing street art and graffiti art was there were some kids that moved into our neighborhood from the Bronx, and we just thought that their accents and their mannerisms and everything about them was like super cool. And we kind of dove in, and they had a key in on what was happening underground as far as hip hop and that whole culture. So they were like showing us the music, showing us the art form, or they would be bringing back pictures of like T-Kid and Dondi and anybody else who was painting graffiti in the Bronx area or in New York area at that time. So I gravitated to it and started to really try to emulate that style. A 14, 15-year-old me bumped into a legendary graffiti writer from New York. And this dude, I at the moment was very young, very naive, and the guy was like in my presence, so I just was telling him how I was the toughest out there and I was doing all the hard work and nobody else was out there, and it's just me fighting for the cause, and I'm the best and all these guys are suckers and they're not very good, and these new guys coming up are what they call toys. And the guy looked at me, and he's somebody I really respect, and he was just like, you're a toy. And it crushed every bit of me. He was like, if you focused more on yourself than you do all the other people that you're talking about, you would be an amazing graffiti writer. You'd be all city, which means you would have your work everywhere in the city, and you would be a king and everybody would know who you are. But you spend more time chasing around other people and their deeds and trying to measure yourself. He said, you need to give what you have to help build your community. And if you want to be a king of kindness. And I've lived by that ever since he said that. It's great to be able to speak to a community or be able to give something during a time where there are conversations that need to be had, and art is such a great way of doing that. Next thing you know, Detroit's not something that I need to talk about being on a comeback trail. It's came back, and it's continuously coming back. So then where's the narrative from that? Where do we talk from there? And so each one of these pieces have something special to me. I did the universe piece on Trumbull in art block. I did it for Henry Ford. And it's a girl, and she's got like an afro, and the afro's got a galaxy in it. And it says a quote that says, I am a force of nature, I am a force to be reckoned with. I am you, and you are the universe. Because I just don't like the idea of a separatist people. You know what I mean? I accept everybody on every single level, and I think that it's very important for us to do that. Did I know that piece was going to be important today? I didn't, but it was how I was feeling at the moment. And I've received a lot of positive information from people who just feel like, I agree with you there. I think that we need to focus on being Americans, and we need to focus on loving each other and treating each other as if there's a 4-year-old child inside us. We all hurt, man, and we're all human. And the moment we start accepting that and stop looking at stupid things like, the tint of your skin, I think the better we'll be. And that was able to create that narrative. It's beneficial for any city to get involved into it, whether it's an inner city or it's a city on the outskirts, if it's a metro, Detroit city or what have you. It brings a fluctuation of interest into the city. It also says that, hey, we're interested in the arts, and that brings like-minded people in, and where the arts are, money follows. And I don't think that it's all about commerce, but commerce helps community. Places like, like Mount Clemens or Livonia, or some of these spots that like are beautiful areas, they have so much diversity and so much to offer. It brings that notice and puts them at the forefront of a must-see kind of demographic. So now these people are coming in, and now they're spending money in the shops. They're getting to take in some of the restaurants and some of the things that those cities have to offer. And then they find their own personal loves in these things.